ladies and gentlemen, the legendary, this way, the legendary, the legendary Bruce Fordyce.
Do I need this? Can you hear me at the back? You can hear me at the back.
You're on the socials.
I hate being Elvis. So do I have to use this? Okay, I have to. Sorry. So you saw me climbing up here. That's the price you pay, huh? Yeah, very, very quickly. I don't want to take up too much of your time, and you don't have to panic. But I thought I'd try and explain why we are here. Why are we here? And I'll tell you. And some of the people heard me last night. 2,500 years ago, the ancient Greeks beat the Persians in a battle on a field, a plain called Marathon. And the Persians are the modern day Iranians. So the Greeks beat the Iranians at a battle 2,500 years ago at a place called Marathon. And the Athenians, the Greeks, were desperately worried about whether they would be able to suppress these conquerors who were trying to come and take over their country. And so they didn't know what had happened at the battle. So at the battle, the Greek leaders chose their fastest and fittest guy to run back to Athens. And remember, he'd fought a battle, first of all. And he ran all the way back to Athens, and his name was Phidippides. And he ran all the way back to Athens to say, and his famous words were, "Rejoice, we conquer." And that is where the marathon began, 2,500 years ago in Greece. So we have to blame the Greeks. That's why, but how did they get the distance? So the distance from Marathon to Athens was about 40 kilometers. And so the marathon was always around about 40 kilometers. And eventually they decided they have to standardize the distance. And so at the 1908 Olympics in London, they decided whatever that distance was of that marathon would be the marathon forevermore. And the royal family wanted to see the marathon runners start. And so they started the race outside Windsor Castle, and it went all the way to the stadium in London. And that distance was 42.2 Ks. And every marathon runner in his or her life will tell you that the 0.2 really hurts. That really hurts. How many people have just missed their PB because of the 0.2? How many people have just failed to qualify for Comrades because of the 0.2? And then I'm getting to my point quite quickly. And then there was this marathon. And it was only for stupid, insane, mad people. It was never like this. No one would have imagined in 1908 or in 2,500 years ago that you would have an event where thousands of people would want to run. But then in 1972, at the Munich Olympics, an American called Frank Shorter won the marathon. Why was that significant? Because the Americans are not associated with marathon running. We are. We've got Josiah Tugwani, who won in 1996. We've got Ken MacArthur, who won in 1924. But the Americans never won the marathon. And they had a dreadful Olympics in 1972. They lost all the races that they normally won. They lost the sprints. Worst of all, they lost to a Russian. They lost the pole vault. They lost everything. They lost all the swimming. And suddenly, in this bleak Olympics, they won the marathon. And the man who was doing the commentary was an author called Eric Siegel. He was commentating on American TV. And for those of you who are as old as me, will know that he wrote a very famous book that became a very famous movie called Love Story. And if you went to watch Love Story, you had to take a box of tissues because you would cry. And the famous line from Love Story was, "Love means never having to say you're sorry." Okay, but you're all too young. I know, I remember. But Eric Siegel did the commentary, and he commentated so eloquently and so beautifully about Frank Shorter winning. Frank Shorter won by 2 minutes. In his commentary at the end, he said, forget about Wimbledon. Forget about the Masters golf tournament. Forget about the Rose Bowl. Forget about the Super Bowl. Forget about every single famous sporting event that you can ever think of. The greatest moment in sport is to watch the winner come in at the end of the Olympic marathon. And then he said, but by the way, I'm just a short, fat, little, squat little guy, but I've run 5 marathons. And the next day, thousands of Americans started running. And because of that, it spread like a virus around the world. And bang, it went everywhere. And that is why we are here. That is why we were here, because of those chain of events that happened to bring us here. And so just to explain, we, of course, because we're South Africans, we don't run 42.2. Oh, we do. But because we're mad and we're insane, we have these things called the Comrades Marathon and the Two Oceans Marathon. They shouldn't be called marathons. They're not marathons. Marathon is 42.2, the distance from Windsor Castle to the finish at White City in London, based on the marathon, the Battle of Marathon. We have these things, they're actually ultra marathons. And so because we're so insane and because we're so tough, which is what makes us the best rugby players in the world, the stupidest people in the world who run 90 Ks and 56 Ks, it is time for us to have a 42.2 K race that gets recognized. And we've got the Cape Town Marathon, we've got one or two great marathons, but I think also it's time for Kimberley to be the place that brings that marathon to us. That's why. You cannot compete with an ultra marathon anywhere in the world. The Comrades Marathon is the greatest ultra marathon in the world. And the second greatest ultra marathon in the world is the Two Oceans. There's no debate. But now here, Kimberley, you can put on, and you're going to do it, the fastest, flattest, greatest 42.2 K race. And you're going to do it. Just one thing. And then I'm going to get off the stage because I've got to get to my plane. Because, you know, when they go down the plane, they say, chicken or beef, chicken or beef, chicken or beef. I need to get there. So, because the worst is when you're at the back of the plane and they've run out and they say, sorry, they've only got the vegetarian option. There you are. Yes. I've got to get the chicken or beef. No, because then you get this. Okay, so here's the thing. It took me 5 years to win my first Comrades. So the first Comrades I went out and I ran and came 43rd. And it took me 5 years to win. And so I'm telling you this year's Kimberley Marathon will be fantastic. But from here, you have to build. Because the first time is just, that's it, you started. 5 years from now, this will be a mega, mega event. But you cannot drop the baton. You have to keep going and build it and spread the word. And the word is that I'm going to spread is this is where you can come to get your PB. PB, for those of you who don't know, you know, there's all these journalists, they know nothing about sport. A PB means personal best, your personal best time. And this is where you can come and get it. And this is where you can qualify for the Comrades in the Two Oceans. So we have to now spread the word, build on this. This year I know is going to be fantastic. But I'm telling you now, if I'm still alive, 5 years from now, what does that make me? Oh, it's getting a bit dodgy. I might not make it, but I hope to be here in 5 years' time. I hope to be here in 5 years' time and to see this as a mega, mega event with thousands of runners, live television coverage, everybody going for it. And all I want to say is finally, congratulations to the sponsors, to the organizers, to everybody, ASA, everybody here, the Premier, for having the courage to say, you know, anyone can say, yeah, what a great idea. But to have the courage to say, let's do it. Let's do it. So congratulations to all of you. Okay, if you can just keep one portion of the chicken or beef for me on that.
Can I please request that you stand? May I please just request that you please remain on stage for us, please. Because Bruce is about to leave us and we didn't really have nice pictures with him, I'm going to request that the Premier and all the MECs please come and join us. So we take a picture with him. Tete, please join us.
Where's the makeup lady? There's always a lady who does makeup. Where is she?
Sorry about that. When you read his book, Winged Messenger, he tells us that the Comrades was not as it is today. Tato, you're going to go up and Mayor, please, thank you. Right. Guys, does this look like a picture? Are you good? All right. Must I take it off? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bruce, and please travel safely.